right, we have our Axiom representative. He is Impact. And up to the top right, we have our Neurosoft representative. It's NightEnD.
So, the map that we've loaded into here, as you said, Altazim Stronghold, is the largest map that we have in the 7 maps within the map pool that the players can choose from. And it's often vetoed out by quite a few players. It's difficult to play on such a large map here. Rush distances, incredibly long. It's hard to punish greedy plays, and not too many people do like playing this map. As a Zerg player here, it's very difficult to try to punish a greedy Protoss player. For example, their main base has access to a second base immediately. Can't do anything about them taking that too early. The third base, even if they do take that early, the distance from the Zerg to the Protoss is really, really long, so it's hard to pull off the Ling Roach Hydralisk Corruptus style that we see so often to punish third bases. So overall, it's not the most favoured map from players, but I definitely expect to see, as just mentioned, greedy builds from both. Could be 3 hatchery coming out from Impact again. Could be Nexus first into Gateway coming out from NightEnD.
Yeah, could happily be that triple hatchery, as you said before. I mean, it's difficult for a Protoss to... If you want to try and punish something like a triple hatch at the beginning, then you have to send out a probe and then a second one if you'd like throwing down an early forge. And on the map like this, you lose so much mining time because of that. So it's a scary prospect as a Protoss.
And I'm expecting Impact to go 3 hatcheries here. If he's going to do it on Frost, he's going to do it here. I don't think he'd consider a Forge play coming out.
Yeah.
NightEnD is going to go for this Nexus here, and I totally expect a Gateway behind this. Forge is safer. Obviously, you have the option to get a cannon. You may want to build a cannon, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gateway. Gateway into a pretty fast assimilator here to get his gas up and running. And then just play it from this. I don't even think we'll see a Forge come out from him. Not anytime soon, at least.
Yeah, and NightEnD is also expecting his opponent to play greedy as well, as it is this huge map.
Yeah.
But Impact, well, he's going to spot his opponent pretty quickly, which is going to be nice for him. But realistically, there's not a whole lot he really has to do against that.
No,
so.
He wouldn't change his build at all. It's just more kind of safe mind. You come in here, you see that your opponent's played greedy. Like, all right, cool. I've played greedy too. You're not going to harass me. Fantastic. And as expected by NightEnD, even got a second pylon before the gas, which means he's able to chronoboost probes at a much faster rate to increase his probe count, to increase his economy. A beautiful opening here from NightEnD, the most ideal opening you could have as a Protoss player against Zerg here. But as mentioned, Impact has the most ideal opening you could have as a Zerg as well.
And just transferring a few drones down there. Spawning pool has been started for Impact during all of this, and we do now have that 7-8 code being added to the wall here for NightEnD. So he is playing a little bit defensively in terms of, greeting any Zerglings that would come along earlier on, and that's important to do just in case, obviously, your opponent had a few units on the field. Maybe try and block them off, leave your opponent a little bit in the dark. It'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely. NightEnD from this position has multiple options to choose from. He can try to go for an Immortal Bust, maybe. Could throw down the Stargate immediately and just play a regular Stargate harass game. Could even try to take a fast third Nexus off one gateway. There's actually a lot of options to choose from. Whereas on the other hand, from Impact, it's all about droning right now.
Yep.
He'll take his gases soon. Maybe 5 minutes 30. Could be now, in between now and 5 minutes 30, to make sure he gets Zergling speed and potentially roaches. Because, of course, the Cybernetics core is done, which means Warpgate research is on the way, could see a gateway attack. So he'll take his gases soon to prepare. But other than that, a pretty passive game to begin with.
Poor NightEnD, he got a little bit unlucky about spotting this initial Overlord first, as Impact left it out of range of vision, so this probe had to go up to the top left-hand corner to see what was going on, and realized he wasn't there. So now sends down to the bottom right, knowing that he'd spawned there, but he could have gone there a little bit quicker.
There's the Robo.
Interesting.
So could see an Immortal push, but the Zergling's going to poke up the ramp and see it.
Yeah.
So this is spotted really, really early on from Impact.
He didn't actually click on that building just then for a second.
He didn't need to click on it. Well, I guess he would have, yeah, if he wanted to look. He's going to send out more.
Click on it?
I don't know. I'm not looking if he's clicking, but I'm sure he's not going to miss that information there. So from this, I don't know why I keep sending links up there.
I guess he just... Because the first 2 times he went up there, he actually didn't click on it. But I guess that I wasn't watching this one. I guess he clicked on it just then, so...
Yeah, he definitely knows whatever the case. So from this position, NightEnD is going to be playing either an Immortal push, a fast Colossus play to take a third, or maybe just taking his third fast with an Immortal, or something along the lines. It's either going to be a push or take a fast third. Usually, you're expecting to see a push from this, which is why we actually have a probe out, on the left-hand side, and we could see Immortals made, and if we do, then we are going to have a push. There's already 3 sentries, more gateways coming in, it is going to be the push.
This can be hard to make work on this map sometimes.
It's long, it's not the best map to do this on. I've actually tried this build myself a lot recently, and it didn't work. It's really, really long.
Yeah, there's so many positions that you can get caught out in, and then you have to get close to the hatchery and get in good positions to force field. If you can get down here towards the 3rd hatchery and then force field in some like these locations, for example, then yeah, sure, it's good, but it's getting there that's the real problem.
Yeah, I think, I was about to say, Impact needs some more gases here. He doesn't quite have enough gas to build a decent roach count. I think 4 gases is ideal against an Immortal push. He's only on 3 or just building the 3rd one now. But he'll start his unit production soon. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be silly about this. One thing, though, he hasn't got anything to spot the 3rd in case the 3rd is thrown down. So he's going to have to just assume it's attack here. Yeah. Or if he assumes it's his 3rd base, then he's going to die. He's got a Zergling going up to scout now to see this push out.
And it will see it pretty
And he's got 13 roaches on the way. He's just assuming it's attack. And he does see it. Creep spread's really good, by the way. And there is also the flank to the left-hand side of where the creep is as well, so he can go down that way.
Now, the interesting thing about this Immortal push is that if he is going to throw the pylon down on the left-hand side here with this probe, then the army here for NightEnD is going to have to go around the left-hand side to make this fully work out, because he's not reinforcing from right next to it.
Then he'd at least avoid this creep spread, which is going to be really good, and avoid the spine crawlers. I guess they can get readjusted.
And he sees everything with the Observer in terms of, well, he actually hasn't seen the full extent of the creep spread, but now he just saw it at the front. So the pylon reinforcement location is a little bit... there we go. So he throws it down. He has to go around the left-hand side. If you go across the creep, it's going to be difficult. Yeah,
well, he's going to have to try and make this work. It's not as easy as a map like Yunsu to land the right force fields, especially when creep is this big.
Oh, those Zerglings just barely missed that probe on the left-hand side, and they still miss it. There was a small slither of fog of war that probe snuck through, and now NightEnD realized. I think he realized he has to throw a pylon down here because that pylon on the left-hand side, again, hard to reinforce through.
Well, roach speed isn't here, which obviously makes it much easier to engage, having your roaches faster to wrap around, which makes it harder for NightEnD to hit his force fields. Counter-attack Ling's been sent out. Already been dealt with by NightEnD by warping in a sentry, if that was to be the case. But he's going to continue on. And look at this. Impact's actually moving forward to the largest spread of the creep, which means it's easier for him to engage and harder for NightEnD to hit his force fields.
And that pylon's going to get nibbled at there for a second, but you're right, this is a great position for Impact to fortify himself on and engage on. This is
5 queens too.
And also, there's actually not that many sentries compared to normal. There's only 6 right now. Yes, they do have full energy, but normally you see like 8 to 10 to 12 even sometimes.
Yeah, there's still like 24 force fields, 20 force fields here to use with a full energy on 6.
But a wraparound could really hurt him. He has to back up constantly. NightEnd's going to have to play this really slowly, especially since he's also supply blocked. He can't warp in any more units at this point. Oh, that 1 sentry is so low, and it's got a lot of energy left on it. Few force fields do go down. This is actually not too bad an engagement location for NightEnD, considering the openness of this location. Nice time warps.
Just too many units here from Impact, and he's continuing to lava inject, he's continuing to build more units. This is going to be very hard for NightEnD to make work here.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, with those double time warps now being used, it's going to take a whole lot of time for that to recharge. He's not going to have that in his arsenal when it comes to another engagement.
Yeah, he's going to try something else here. What is he trying?
Sneaky.
Double Immortals in here. If he can pick off the back hatch, maybe. And then I guess he could fall back on an expansion here if he's able to pick this hatch off.
That would be nice. He's going to try and go for it, maybe do a little bit of harassment, but some Zerglings are already there. Zealot warp in as well. This is going to pull quite a bit of that army to the back. And then, well, it should be cleaned up in the end. He should be pressing his advantage at the front, I think.
Yeah, he's going to. Clear the spines. Nice little move here from NightEnD. Will it work, though? He goes back with his army now. He has got position to clear these spines out before the army's back there.
And this is one of the disadvantages of this map. The fact that the natural and the 3rd are a long way away by ground distance. So NightEnd's trying to exploit that. We'll pull back for a second once again. He still has to play this out very slow.
Even Hydralisk now coming in.
Well, actually, now that you say that, yes, he kind of has to play it slow, but at the same time, there's a timer above his head, right? Because of the Hydralisks that are on the way.
NightEnD needs to go. I mean, he's always needed to go. That was a nice move with the Immortals to maybe have an opening, but the opening's closed again.
Yeah.
And this is just getting worse and worse for NightEnD. Look at the supply. It's 187 to 32 now. 132, that is. This is going to be almost impossible to break. He's taken too long. Maybe this wasn't the right map choice. He does have 2 extra Immortals coming. So it's going to be 5 Immortals in total.
It's good firepower.
It's good firepower, but it's also going to be a lot of Zerg. And Hydral's in the mix now, plus 1 attack on the way. Range is about to finish upgrading for the Zerg as well.
Big swarm forwards once again. Doesn't want to go up that ramp. Those force fields could quite easily cut him off in that small choke. But he's just... all the time he spends here whilst those force fields actually go down.
Look how much money Impact has to remax too. With even Zerglings is fine.
Yeah. They're going to swarm across this army very quickly, especially since it's very Stalker heavy and not many Zealots in there at all. It's going to be difficult for NightEnD to not only break this, but deal with those reinforcements.
Trading off a couple of those Lings, a couple of Roaches for more Hydralists, always good as well.
Yep. And we still have a few more in production. He even starts +1. That's how comfortable Impact feels right now.
Yes.
But also, being maxed out, you may as well get some upgrades, I guess.
And 4 Roaches, nice little counterattack there. Even if there was a Sentry, he'd be able to knock that down.
Yeah,
and that'll force more units back for NightEnD, or at least more units to be warped in at home.
And, NightEnD might have got himself in a bit of a bad spot there as he moves way into the middle of a very, very open area. Has to throw down a lot of force fields to try and hold this off, but at the same time, even Impact, he doesn't really care about those force fields at this point
and
with
Roaches
this kind of
in the
army.
mineral line as well. This is very, very one-sided once again.
Oh, sad times here for NightEnD in game number 2. Impact just steamrolling over this army. And NightEnD has no more force fields and only 1 or 2 Immortals left. He's coming in from the back with some Stalkers, but even those I won't be able to hold this wave at bay.
Yep, good play.